conversations that were had with various organizations involved the funds not being restricted or paying extremely high administrative costs. Look, any way you say this, action needed to be taken. To that point, I'm sorry. I'm disappointed that I was not more straightforward regarding the Foundation's timelines for making donations, and that I made statements potentially implying donations were made and had not yet been made. It took too long for clear action to occur, and I apologize for all of this.
Now, I've been pretty vocal about waiting for a response from Gerard, and while I understand legal matters often put a gag into your mouth during incredibly sensitive situations like this, I was pretty surprised to see a response yesterday in general, but what was really wild to me was how some of the individuals, at least on Twitter, and again, I don't use Twitter as an intelligent metric, actually took this as a somewhat exonerating response, when it actually paints more contradictions into the light. So I'm here to offer my response to Gerard's response with receipts, something that I personally believe Gerard did not do at all in his video. I never saw one bank statement, never saw one evidence of money flow. It was an entire story of me just taking him at his word, which I will once again prove in this video that you cannot take Gerard at his word. He is proven to be somebody that is deceptive. So let me explain exactly how this works. Gerard provided receipts in his video, okay? If you look at the description to his, if you look carefully into the description, one thing you'll notice is it's mostly just links to the AFP website, the IRS, and various definition websites when it comes to these specific donations, or I guess definitions of a restricted or an unrestricted donation, or how the IRS determines differences between private and public foundations. There are only 4 actual pieces of evidence provided by Gerard in these Google Drive links that are an autopsy report regarding his late mother, which honestly had no reason to come out. You've got a OHF termination of private status letter. You've got one letter that I guess, at least to me, looks like a continuance or something, which we'll get into, and an OHF audit letter by the IRS. So we're going to look into each 4 of these pieces of evidence and see just how much new information and clarification and transparency that they really provide. Let's go. So I opened up this letter over here and I read this very carefully, okay? So this is from the Internal Revenue Service, where basically they have a dear applicant. The applicant is Open Hand Foundation. We've received your notification of intent to terminate your private foundation under the IRC Section 507B1B during the 60-month period listed at the top of the letter. That 60-month period is starting from January 1st, 2016, and it ends December 31st, 2020. So again, in this situation, we're going to read all of it because this video will be long, but I want to fill it with as many receipts and contradictions as I reasonably can. This letter could help resolve questions on your foundation status. Please keep it for your records. I wish we saw this letter more than 24 hours ago. I wish this letter was posted on the Open Hand Foundation's website, a website that still does not have the AFPD, a website they gave $600,000 to over a week ago, listed in their beneficiaries. This is a website that should have had this information plastered. If your golf event can have your tax ID letter easily accessible, this information should have been posted for me and anybody researching this to logically assess. Then I wouldn't even have to question your private and public charity. In his response video, he really touched upon that point, when it wasn't really even that massive of a